Hey everybody, well it's finally here. Dual battery tray for the 2012 JKs with the new Pentaastar 3.6 liter motor. And this is going to be a tight fit, but Mountain Off-Road has done it. We've gone ahead and got you a dual battery tray for that, and we're going to go with step-by-step instructions on how to get you that what everybody's been asking for. Well, as you can see, there's not a whole lot of room. This new 3.6 liter widened out this area, this cavity that we're going to need a lot more than the 3.8 liter from 2007 to 2011. But the 2012 and newer with this Pentaastar 3.6 is what we've got. The first thing that you're going to want to do is let's get this air cleaner box out and out of the way. We're going to loosen these two screws right up here. It's a 10 millimeter screw. You got two of them right here on top. Okay, that'll get that hose out of the way. Then you've got a hose clamp right here. That connects your air filter to this air intake hose area. Then we've got 4 clamps, one right here, one right here, one right here. They're just swing away clamps. There's 4. That gives you access to your cleaner. Being real careful not to get any dirt in here. There's your filter, and then you've got just a push-on hose for your vacuum. That'll come off. And what you're going to want to do to keep contaminants out of your intake, let's just get a shop rag. Don't forget about this, but let's just get a shop rag and put it in there and keep dirt and everything out of your intake. Okay, so then after that, the bottom of this air box just pulls right up. It's got some dowels here that go into some rubber bumper pieces, so these pieces of your air box will go away, and your filter, and then we'll start on to your fuse box area here. Okay, now that the air box is out of the way, before we go any further, you're going to want to disconnect your factory battery. Just a 10 millimeter socket is what you're going to need. That way things don't get shorted out or arced, especially when we start getting into that fuse box area. There we go. And then we've got a clamp area right here. I'm sorry, it's right down underneath, right between your wheel well and the battery. You'll need a extension with your 10 millimeter, but we'll come down here, and it's just the battery hold down clamp. So we'll get that out of the way as well and take the battery clear out. Okay, now we're ready to take the battery out of here. You got the engine purge solenoid that it just lifts up and off this flat peg that you get access down into here. There is your battery clamp down at the bottom of the battery tray. Factory batteries, they give you 2 little handles here that helps you get this out of here. That'll let you get that out and on the ground. So now you were open there. Here's that foot I was telling you about to hold that battery in, and then there's a joint here. It's just a rocker lock. It's a wiring harness that you're going to want to separate, and it's just kind of pushed into a hole, and we'll show you a little bit more detail on that on the side of the battery tray from the factory. Next thing we're going to do is that wiring harness that's pushed into the side of your battery box tray. I'm going to zoom in on it right here. Right in here, you can see it. There's just 2 little, this is it right here. There's just 2 little push in components. We use this, it's just a fork, it's an auto body tool. Just slide it down behind here. And maybe a long screwdriver might work, but this, and then just pry a little bit, that pops out. Okay, I just mentioned that there is a zip tie, but it's not. We're going to use this tool again right here. This wire right underneath this wiring harness. It's also one of those that if we can zoom in there, get my shadow out of the way. We're just going to. It has one of those serrated posts. That gets pushed into the battery tray. We're just going to pull it up as well. There you go, just like that. Okay, there's two more that's got to come out of here at least. There's one right here. That'll take care of that one. Oh, I missed it. It's clear up here. I'm sorry. Right there, you can see the band right here. I'll just pull it out. It's testing me here, isn't it? There we go. There it goes. And again, there's your keeper. So just getting these harnesses loosened up and out of the way here, because you're going to need all that room. Okay, we got one more in this area right here. It's just a matter of prying up. I'm going to go sideways a little bit, maybe, or maybe I can pry off the back. There we go. Now you can see just the little serrated post that goes into that hole. Okay. Okay, it's time to get your fuse box up and out of the way. So what the factory's done is, and I'm going to zoom in here on this, all four corners of your fuse box. I can get in there. Right here, there is a tab. One part of this is part of your battery box. The other one is it's a spring-loaded tab that if I can push that in there. It's a spring-loaded tab that if you push it in there, you can kind of see it. It's a locking tab. What I've done on all four corners, I've just taken some matchsticks and just pushed them in there to hold them. You've got four of these on each four corners of the fuse box. I've just gone ahead, and it holds those tabs open and out off the locked position. And then I'm going to go ahead and just pry this fuse box right on up. Got another one here that's locked back in. There we go. Okay, with this fuse box up and out of the way, again, be real careful not to pull too hard on these wires. But each one of these wiring harnesses have it's a lock, a safety lock, and a cam. The red on the sides and a little bit further on in, there's safety locks. You just lift up on those. That's the lock. Swing up on your white cam lock on the harness, and that will disconnect from the fuse box. Probably be a good idea to put a Sharpie number on these, 1122 harness. Here's the other red one. Just do that, lift it up, and disconnect your blue, green and blue harness, and then we'll just roll it over. There we go. There's the blue one. On down inside here, if you can tell, you've got some other on this harness and this harness, and the others down inside. You've got the same levers, and we'll get into that here in just a second. Need to get this box up and out of the way because we got to get the whole battery box out of here. Okay, what I want to show you real quick here all of these, this is your fuse box here, all of these quick disconnects in your fuse box all have this cam over, lever over piece here. Unlock it and then you release it like that. The only one that is different is this middle one right here. Is you push that lever up and then you squeeze it right here. Squeeze it right here, and that allows that. Squeeze that right there and allows that to get unlocked. That's the only one that's a little bit tricky, but again, you pull that up, squeeze it with your thumb, and it'll pull off. There you go. Okay, one thing that's going to help you also to separate the wiring and wiring harnesses from the left and the right of the battery box is this grounding wire right here. Just go ahead and back it off. It'll stay to the engine side of the wiring and wiring harnesses, and the other wires, I'm going to put this nut back on again. That'll come to this side over there. The other wiring harnesses will come to this side here. So, okay, one of the last things you're going to need to do, going to make your life a lot easier, is get this power steering fluid bottle loosened up and out of the way. So that'll allow you this battery tray to sit here. I'm going to go ahead and, like I say, I like to put the bolts back in so I don't lose them. Okay, with that grounding wire that we got off the fuse box, with it out of the way, again, you've got harnesses that can go to the left and right engine side, and other wire harnesses that will stay on the fender side. And then all we're going to do is lift up on this, pull it out. Again, we're going to be real careful not to damage any wiring. Bring it on out the front. Just working a little bit at a time. There we go. All right, there's the bad boy right there. Okay. Now that's what we're going to be replacing with our dual battery tray. We need to get a little bit more access here. So right here, these two solenoids here, just take a little screwdriver and it just kind of loosens this little button. It's just a pry wedge pin that holds this in. Cut that loose. We're just going to put it right back together out of the hole. That way we don't lose anything. So there's that. Right here, we're going to pull these wires off these PIM studs off the wall. And right down here, and here, there's some of these. I'm just going to wiggle in a circle, in a circular motion. There we go. Now this wire's up and out of the way. There's a ground stud right here. We're going to back that off, and we're just going to spin these 90 degrees a little bit so we can get this laid up a little bit higher, this harness up a little bit higher. So, all right.